Once upon a time, nestled in the heart of a vast sea, there stood an ancient city known as Eldoria. With its magnificent marble structures, bustling markets, and lush gardens, Eldoria was a symbol of opulence and grandeur. At the helm of this majestic city was King Maximus, a ruler admired for his wisdom and wealth that seemed to know no bounds. Eldoria, however, held a secret that was whispered among its inhabitants. The city was built upon a mystical island that possessed an otherworldly enchantment. Legend had it that the island was once a magical refuge, created by powerful sorcerers to shield the city from harm and grant its people prosperity. The island itself was a sight to behold, with its emerald green hills and shimmering waterfalls that cascaded into crystalline pools. It was a place where dreams took flight and wishes came true, thanks to the benevolent magic that flowed through its very core. Yet, on a fateful day, as the sun bathed the city in its golden rays, tragedy struck Eldoria. The ground beneath its streets trembled violently, sending shockwaves through the hearts of its inhabitants. A devastating earthquake, unlike any the city had ever experienced, rocked the foundation of the island. As the tremors grew more violent, the people of Eldoria were consumed by panic and despair. They hurried through the streets, clutching their loved ones, desperately seeking safety. The realization dawned upon them that their beloved city and the enchanting island beneath it were facing an imminent catastrophe. Amidst the chaos, a young man named Aidan, with his strong build and fiery determination, emerged as a beacon of hope. Aidan had always been a dreamer, an adventurous soul with a heart that yearned for greatness. He possessed an uncanny ability to remain calm amidst chaos, a quality that would prove invaluable in the days to come. As the ground cracked and buildings crumbled around him, Aidan sprang into action. He knew he couldn't save everyone, but he was determined to rescue as many lives as possible. Ignoring the pleas of his worried family, he dashed into the crumbling streets, racing against time. Aidan pulled people from the wreckage, guiding them towards the nearest escape routes. His strong arms carried the wounded, while his voice offered words of comfort to those on the brink of despair. His courage ignited a spark of hope within the hearts of the city's inhabitants, reminding them that they were not alone in their struggle. The king's palace, a towering structure that symbolized power and majesty, was among the many buildings on the brink of collapse. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Aidan made his way towards the palace, fueled by a determination to save not only lives but also the legacy of Eldoria. Inside the palace, King Maximus, adorned in regal attire, was frantically overseeing the evacuation efforts. His face etched with worry, he realized that time was running out. The riches amassed by generations of kings, stored in the city's treasury, would be lost forever if they were not rescued. Aidan approached the king, his expression resolute. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice steady yet filled with urgency. "The treasures of Eldoria must be saved. They can provide the means for our people's future." King Maximus, struck by Aidan's determination and selflessness, nodded solemnly. He entrusted Aidan with the key to the treasury, an act of faith that would shape the destiny of their people. With the key clutched tightly in his hand, Aidan set forth on a treacherous journey. Aidan maneuvered through the treacherous labyrinth of crumbling buildings, his heart pounding with each step. The once bustling streets were now filled with debris, making his path perilous and uncertain. Yet, he pressed on, guided by an unwavering determination to retrieve the treasures of Eldoria. As he ventured deeper into the heart of the sinking city, Aidan encountered fellow survivors, their faces etched with despair. He reassured them, urging them to follow him to safety, promising that there was hope beyond the chaos. Many heeded his words and joined him, their numbers growing as they moved through the maze. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Aidan reached the doors of the treasury. With the key held tightly in his hand, he pushed open the heavy doors and stepped into the room that held the vast wealth of Eldoria. The treasury was a sight to behold, filled with chests overflowing with gold, jewels, and precious artifacts. Aiden's eyes widened with awe as he realized the magnitude of the fortune that lay before him. But he knew that their true worth lay not in their material value, but in the potential they held to rebuild their shattered lives. With a resolute determination, Aiden loaded the treasures onto a sturdy ship that had been prepared for this very purpose. As he did, he couldn't help but feel a sense of responsibility weighing heavily on his shoulders. The future of their people depended on the success of his mission. As the last chest was loaded onto the ship, Aiden looked back at the sinking island, a bittersweet mixture of sorrow and hope filling his heart. He knew that the city they had once called home would soon be nothing more than a memory, swallowed by the unforgiving sea. But the spirit of Eldoria would endure, carried forward by those who had survived. With the ship fully laden, Aiden and the survivors set sail towards the nearest land, their eyes fixed on the horizon. It was a journey filled with uncertainty, as they navigated treacherous waters and battled against raging storms. But their determination never wavered. Days turned into weeks, and finally, the weary travelers reached the shores of a new land. They stepped onto solid ground, their hearts filled with a mixture of gratitude and resilience. They had been tested, but they had emerged stronger. News of Aiden's heroic deed spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of the people who now welcomed the survivors with open arms. Aiden became a revered figure, his name whispered in awe and admiration. The tale of his courage and selflessness resonated with all who heard it, reminding them of the indomitable human spirit. With the treasures of Eldoria at their disposal, the survivors began to rebuild their lives. They established a new city, one that embodied the resilience and unity that had brought them through the darkest of times. The memory of their sinking island was forever etched in their hearts, serving as a reminder of their ability to overcome adversity. As years turned into decades, the new city flourished. It became a beacon of hope and prosperity, a testament to the triumph of courage and the strength of the human spirit. Aiden's statue stood proudly in the heart of the city, a reminder to future generations of the bravery that had saved them. And so, the tale of Eldoria lived on, passed down through generations. The sinking island became a legend, a story that captivated the imaginations of those who heard it. It spoke of a time when a young man's bravery had defied the odds and saved a city from oblivion. In the end, it was not the riches that defined the legacy of Eldoria, but the unwavering spirit of its people. Please subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button.